दर्द जितना गहरा हो सीख उतनी ही खास होती है, मुश्किल रास्तों से ही तो जिंदगी की परख होती है. Good morning everyone, I am Dhaval Chaudhary. I am a qualified company secretary currently working with Rarever Financial Advisors Private Limited as an assistant compliance officer of the company. Respected Dipti ma'am, Amit sir, dear friends and all the wonderful parents present here. It's a privilege for me to stand before you and share a couple of tough stories in my life and in my family's life and how we came out of that situation with flying colors. So let's begin. In the year 1988, my father was all set to visit his sister in Indore on Bhai Dooj. He had pre-booked train tickets in his hand, but he accepted the last minute offer from our family relative to travel by car with him. Just imagine that's a small change in his decision changed his life forever. As they approached Indore by Dhar road, suddenly a dog ran onto the road and my father, who was sitting behind the car, alerted the uncle who was driving the car. But our uncle who was driving the car lost his balance and they collided with truck head on. Imagine just in an instance, our uncle who was driving the car lost his life and my father who was sitting right behind him was left with badly injured right elbow. He gathered courage and managed to reach out a nearby sawmill asking for a help. However, as soon as he reached to the nearby sawmill, at the gate he collapsed. He was severely injured and due to his injury, our family relative decided to take him to a private hospital. What if we hadn't moved him to a private hospital? My father believes that if he hadn't been moved to a private hospital, then he might have lost his hand. It's a God's miracle and our small decision that saved my father's hand. My father's recovery was a God's miracle and it was a miracle for doctors and both the families. You might wonder why I am saying that. Because my father works at a timber mart and he has to lift heavy wood logs all the day and throughout 24/7. But after this accident, it's been a 35 years he is working flawlessly and his recovery has defied all the odds. My second story is about resilience. 12 months long wedding plan, 2 excited families and a pandemic. Yes, you heard it right. It's a 12 months long wedding plan. Let me take you to the date. It was 24th of March 2020. Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi came on the television and declared that due to pandemic, our nation is locked down completely for a month. My family and my in-laws family both were in great shock and both were surprised. You might wonder why we were so panicked and we were in shock. The reason is my wedding date was 24th of April 2020. Yes, it was just a month away from the date of declaration of lockdown. Both the families were in great shock, but we have no option to wait. After waiting for a couple of months, we received another date and that was 30th of June 2020. Both the families were happy that after waiting for a couple of months, we received a new date. But it was not as simple as that. Why? Because one more message from the committee that the wedding is postponed again. Yes, it was second time in a row that my wedding was postponed. After waiting for 3 more months, we received a new date and that was 12th of August 2020. Both the families were happy after receiving this news from the committee message. My mother and my mother-in-law started playing Garba at their home, but their happiness didn't last long. Why? Because one more message from the committee that the wedding is postponed again. Yes, my dear friends, it's the third time in a row that my wedding was postponed. However, after waiting for a 12 months of long wedding plan, we finally made it to the wedding venue on the date 15th of July 2021. Yes, my dear friends, it was God's blessing and my parents' blessings that we made it to the venue. I would like to dedicate few lines for my mother and my mother-in-law for their unwavering support. माँ की दुआओं ने हर गम बुला दिया, माँ की खुशी ने हर रुकावट को हंस के पार कर दिया. माँ की दुआओं ने हर गम बुला दिया, माँ की खुशी ने हर रुकावट को हंस के पार कर दिया. आखिरकार वो दिन आ गया जिस दिन उन्होंने हमारा सपना सजा दिया. थैंक यू माय फ्रेंड्स.